What's good, people? It's about that time to ramble and relate, reverse rants, no hate. So after this video, I'm about to go do some bag work. And this was funny, man, because I was sitting here and I was looking at my hand in this glove, and I just said, you know what? It made me think about Glovegate all over again. Now, if you guys remember, I did the video and I was showing you guys what the claims were. This isn't all I want to talk about in this video. This is just funny. But it's funny to me because, all right, let's look at my gloves. Let's look at this pair right here. All right. Let's look at this pair. I mean, this is very similar. This is, similar, pretty much. Okay. I mean, this is Everlast. Okay. Now, this is what's crazy. Remember, I did this video. This is what people said Tyson Fury was doing. Now, you see how you can see the front of my fingers, right? This is what people said he was doing. Now, let's just put the Velcro on. Let's put the strap on. And so what they said is that his hand was halfway in the glove. Now, this is the front of my fingers, right? You guys can see that. You can actually see over my finger. Like, okay, I can put my hand in here. So that means if his hand was halfway in the glove, look, that means he was punching Deontay Wilder with no force whatsoever. This is what he was doing. He was punching Deontay Wilder with zero power. This is what they said he was doing. And I'm like, damn, how the hell did Glovegate even last 2 years? How? Aside from the fact people fed into it and the lies kept coming up and all the different stories. But, okay, now let's slide my hand up more into the glove. Okay. So right about now, the front of my fingers is right here. I don't know if you can see the imprint, but they're like right here. Okay? So my knuckles are like right here. Now, this is at the halfway mark. Which means, once again, Tyson Fury was punching Deontay Wilder in the face, okay? With no power at all. Which means, for him to try to get any part of his actual hand on Deontay's face, he had to literally throw a slap hook, okay? And he's hitting him with his palm. Or he's literally punching him like this, where his palm is what's connecting with Wilder. So you're telling me he was doing this to Wilder. Now, how in the sweet fuck do you hit a guy and hurt him with your fucking knuckles, your whole hand, not even a glove? How do you land a punch like this? Okay, and even to throw a slap hook, if you're doing this, you're still not getting any power. So you mean to tell me he was able to calculate time and measure perfectly and was just hitting him with this? Now, you see skin. Now, because I'm telling you what you're looking at, this is my fingertips, my actual fingernail, okay? Now, let's slide my hand all the way in. Now, mind you, I don't have on any hand wraps. If I had hand wraps on, my hand would not go in here so easy. That glove is smaller, okay? Those gloves are smaller. So when I have hand wraps on, it's hard to even get those on. Now, let's slide my hand up. Let's look. Okay, now, my fingers are here. My tips are here. They're completely in the glove. Now, what are you looking at? The very beginning of my palm and my wrist being right here, okay? So, with the hand wraps on, you don't see my hand at all. You just see the hand wraps. But I don't have hand wraps on, of course. So, now, my hand is completely in the glove. So now, this is exactly, now, boom, okay? But you understand what I'm saying? If I do this, it doesn't matter. My hand won't flop. Now, these gloves are they're not waterlogged from sweat, nothing at this point. Gloves are made differently. He wore horsehair gloves. So that wouldn't happen with these gloves. But the point of what I'm showing you, okay, is my hand positioning. So if my hand, okay, was halfway in this glove, I don't care how the hell the glove is made. If my hand was halfway in this glove, now I can sit here and do this and purposely bend my wrist like I'm doing right now, okay? And it still looks floppy if I'm bending my wrist. Now if I just do this, my wrist is not really bending at all right now. This is keeping it in place. So let me do this and put the wrap back on. Now, my hand once again, you see my hand, this is right, like the center of my palm. If I'm doing this, yeah, now, okay, do you see the point what I'm saying? I have zero power to punch you with. I'm literally, like my fingertips are up here instead of in here. You see that little hook? That's where your fingertips are when your hand is completely in the glove. My fingertips are here. Not in here. They're up here, right here. Okay? So, bottom line is, I'm hitting you. Look at my palm. I'm punching you. I can't even make a fist. How do you get power? If you throw a punch with your hand open, not only can you break your hand that way, too, but it's a lot less power. That's why you clench your fist. Now, a lot of times you throw your punch and your hand is like this. It's open. And as you get closer to the target, you close it. Okay? So you're not doing this. A lot of fighters do. Some don't. Some do. They throw it and then close it right before the turn comes. All right? Okay, the only thing with that is timing, where if you're throwing a lot of punches, more likely your fist is gonna be closed. But to pop a jab out, a lot of times they do it like that. And okay, either way. And a lot of times, the most fighters that do that the most are guys that's really not that fast. You understand what I mean? Because they feel like when you throw them, when you clench your fist, you tense up and you don't push it. You kind of like throw it where it should be telegraphed. Okay. Either way, now I'm just saying, right? I can sit here and do this. Why? Simply because my hand is not in the glove fully. So I'm doing this. So it doesn't make a difference. I have zero power. And I've always said, only someone who has never boxed and is just biased and delusional will actually believe that a motherfucker is fighting with their hand not in the glove. And, oh, but no, remember, you can see in the round where Tyson Fury kept doing this with the gloves. I'm like, okay, see, I can do this right here because I don't have another glove on. Now, if I had another glove on my hand, you think I can readjust my gloves and even with them sweaty and wet? Nah. I mean, it's like some superhero stuff where we just got that ability to just make things happen even though it's completely uncomfortable. So, you see, with my hand in the glove, fully, you see what I'm doing? You see it? Okay. And me and some other people did the whole test. You know why we did it? To show you glove gate was bullshit. Not that we put it past Tyson Fury to be a dirty fucking cheater, but the fact of the matter is, if his hand wasn't in the glove the way it was supposed to be, he'll do far more damage to his hand and his wrist than he would to Deontay's face. Once again, and me even giving you the game on the fact that when you throw your punch, you see trainers do that. They'll tell you don't tense up. Keep your hand open and close it as you turn, right before you turn. And most people just instinctively, they shoot that shit from here. Now, of course, this would be a straight, not a jab. But bottom line is the same thing, okay? Here's what I'm saying, though. If you're throwing a punch and your hand is not fully in the glove, if his hand could slide so easily that far down especially, that means he could have do a jab and the glove could have slid the fuck off because it's wet and super loose. You got tape wrapped around everything. So I'm like, man, people really want to believe this stupid shit. They really want to believe it. Okay. Once again, I have no hand wrap on. So it's nothing for me to open this and just slide it off. You can see when they took Tyson Fury's glove off at the end of the fight, it was one of those, you know, them yanking and him, and you understand what I mean? Okay, well, bottom line, you could say he was faking. He's probably had his hand cupped inside, whatever. This glove is smaller. Now, I don't know how much you can tell looking at it in the camera, but this is smaller. Okay, the white one is smaller. And when I put my hand in this one, okay, it's a lot harder without even gloves on for me to get my hand in this one. Okay, it's just a lot smaller. Now, if I had hand wraps on, it's that much, you know, it's that much harder. But, okay. Now, just listen. Halfway in. You hear it has a completely different sound, and my fingertips are here right now. I can't get any power in that shot. So I'm not doing any damage. I should not be able to swell your face or do any damage to you if my goddamn hand is not in the glove. Every single person that gave you that information was to show you that glove gate was bullshit. Okay. But of course, Wilder fans took it like, oh man, they hating on Wilder. No, I don't give a shit about no damn Fury. Once again, I don't lie for people. All right. Now, what I really want to talk to you guys about is real simple. I had a conversation. There's a couple of things I want to talk about real quick. I had a conversation with someone in the comment section. And the person is asking, what does it matter if Terrence Crawford is still champion at 147? Nobody's putting pressure on the sanctioning bodies. Okay. I'll tell you how this works. You don't tell the sanctioning bodies what to do. They tell you what to do. It's simple. Depending on how the sanctioning bodies see you, it depends on where you stand, how tall you stand in your division. Perfect example. Terrence Crawford didn't fight Crawford Boots Ennis, who's his mandatory. And what did they do? They stripped him. David Benavidez has been Canelo's mandatory for 3 years. He's yet to be stripped. Okay? Then they said he'd be stripped by March if he didn't fight Benavidez. March comes, then they move it to September. So it's obvious they don't see Terrence Crawford. They're saying, what did they see? Canelo. And who stripped him? The WBC. Who's the WBC president? Mauricio Sulaiman. Do you think that fighters don't stand up? You don't think that they make appeals? You don't think they make requests? You don't think that they do that? Of course they do. But if they don't see value in you, they don't see superstar written all over you, then they won't do it. Okay. Notice how Canelo has no interest in fighting Terrence Crawford. Now, you could say, oh, he knows he can't beat Crawford. You could say he has nothing to gain by beating Crawford because here's a guy coming up from 147 all the way to 168. You know, you could say what you want. The point is, when people are straight up with you about business, you don't have to draw your own conclusion if people are being honest. This is what makes no sense about people who are fans, though. I want to see Crawford win. If Crawford fought Canelo, I'm going for Crawford. I always go for Crawford. When he fought Spence, it was kind of like, okay, may the best man win. Because I like both of them as fighters. Did I not say to you guys, Crawford just has to be Crawford? Spence is going to have to be different. I don't think his usual style will win. Okay, because Crawford is sharp enough to take advantages of things that other fighters wouldn't against Spence or couldn't. What does that tell you? Okay? So even when I say no, and I stand on it, Spence did not look, he just didn't look right in that fight. At the same time, I also am the same guy that told you. His style has to be different. He has to add to his style. He has to be sharper. I gave you the game plan that I would have given Spence and the things, the adjustments he needed to make in the ring as the fight goes on. He didn't do those things. But at the same time, the outcome that we got is because Crawford was the better man. Plain and simple. Now, how could you possibly make a big stink? Okay, and understand this. How could you possibly make a big stink out of Canelo not having any interest in fighting Terence Crawford when Canelo is fighting at 168? Crawford just unified and became undisputed at 147 pounds, which means you are the champion at 147. You have no stake, no real estate at 168, which means just because you call somebody's name doesn't mean the fight has to happen. A lot of that is because Mayweather fought and embarrassed Canelo. Crawford fans that want to say Crawford is better than Mayweather, they want to see the fight, and that's what they're comparing it to. Oh, he'll beat him the same way that Mayweather did. That's what they're saying. That's what they would like to have seen happen. But wait, you mean to tell me it's wrong? Because whether you were Crawford Boots and his fan or not, the fact that you recognize the talent in Crawford and know this dude is a mandatory. This dude is fighting who he can fight because these guys don't want to fight him. Spence has been in that same position as Boots, so has Crawford. You don't understand that? So he's wrong for wanting to fight? Boxing fans are wrong for wanting to see that fight? The point that people are overlooking is Crawford never had Boots in his plans. Before he became champion, come on, man, he focusing on Spence. Boots don't bring nothing to the table, right? What do Boots or have to offer? He trying to fry bigger fish, right? Okay. So he goes across the street and fight. What's the guy's name? Whatever the guy, forget his name. Stanionis, or whatever the guy's name is. Went across the street, so to speak, to fight him, beat him, came back. Okay. That fight could have been Boots. And we were saying, well, damn, if Boots is so simple to beat like y'all are saying, right? It's obvious that Crawford don't feel the same way. Because Crawford could have easily, that could have been Boots instead of that guy. Whatever the fuck is, y'all know what I'm talking about. But bottom line, he went over there and fought that guy. You remember, his team was in the gym, clowning the guy, disrespecting the guy, interrupting the guy while he's training and trying to get in his head. All of that nonsense. But that could have been Boots. Okay, that didn't happen. Once he beat Errol Spence, it was apparent he still had no intentions in fighting Crawford Boots Ennis, who is in his division and already at 147 pounds. How in the fuck is something wrong with people because they wanted to see that fight? That would be like not wanting to see Roy Jones versus James Toney, not wanting to see Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns. Why would you not want to see it? Why? And let's just be real. Isn't that what boxing is about? The best fighting the best? So it's wrong for people to want to see two guys in the same division fight each other. It's wrong for people wanting to see the mandatory for the champion in a division to fight each other. You don't want the fight. They strip you. You still don't want the fight. Okay. But yet, you're still holding on to the other belts. Now that he has announced he's campaigning at 154, we don't give a fuck about that fight anymore. It's over with. It's done. Why was that so hard to understand? The other thing is, Jerron Boots Ennis is a big fish in a small pond right now. There's nobody else at 147 pounds that has a big name. Nobody. Not that there's not good fighters, but nobody else that has a big name and stands out. Which means, let's look at it. And let me, before I say that, let me say this. Boots was calling out Errol Spence, Keith Thurman as well. Remember, Keith Thurman went in so far to pretend he didn't even know who he was. And right around that time is when Clarissa Shields said she thinks she could beat Keith Thurman. Y'all were more interested in what Clarissa Shields said about Keith Thurman than what Boots said about him. Y'all were more interested in a intergender match than y'all was about, him fighting Jerron Boots Ennis. I made the video saying, damn, Keith. Clarissa Shields said she thinks she can beat you. Jerron Boots Ennis said he'll knock you out. You ignore him and say he's not even on your level. Well, damn, you must think Clarissa Shields is on your level. Because you responded to her shit, but you didn't say nothing about Boots. When he did address Boots, he addressed it as if he's a young, hungry fighter in the same position I am in right now. And I said that shit to you guys way before Keith even said it, because Keith was ignoring him. Now, with that being said, he calls out Errol Spence. Errol Spence is not focused on him. Errol Spence finally fights Terrence Crawford. He gets his ass whipped. Now, where is he campaigning at? 154. Okay? Didn't he say he wanted the rematch with Crawford, but at 154? And what did y'all say? He don't owe him no rematch because he lost. So he had his chance, and it won't make a difference because the same thing gonna happen. Didn't y'all say that? So would it fucking matter if Errol Spence went to 154? Especially if you don't think it's necessary for him to rematch Crawford? I said if Errol Spence doesn't go up to 154 pounds and there is no fight with him, a rematch with him and Crawford, I would like to see him fight Jerron Boots Ennis. You motherfuckers agreed. Yeah. Why? Why would it be any different? Why? Now, I'm willing to bet you, if Errol Spence would have stayed at 147 pounds and the announcement that you got was Errol Spence versus Jerron Boots Ennis, you motherfuckers would be saying, oh shit, Errol Spence ducked the Crawford rematch. You know how I know that? For one, you guys are easy to read your open book because you contradict yourself all the time. But two, what's the first thing came out of your mouths? When Errol Spence made that tweet saying he got next between Fedora and Tim Tszyu. Oh shit, he ducked Terrence Crawford. See my point, how everybody else is ducking everybody, but Crawford's not ducking anybody. I like Crawford as a fighter. This is addressed to you motherfuckers. Y'all try to twist it and flip it like, but Crawford, no, you motherfuckers. And the only reason you respond with the negativity is because you know I'm right. You feel guilty like, well, damn, this motherfucker just called me out. He just, yeah, exactly. I'm talking to you motherfuckers. So Errol Spence, he goes to 154. That's off the table for Jerron Boots. Keith Thurman, he goes to 154, then gets injured again. But that's off the table for Jerron Boots. Now Terrence Crawford goes to 154. That's off the table for Jerron Boots. Now, what happens? Let's look at it. The 147-pound division just lost 3 of its top stars, which means the division suffers. Just like 135 division lost top stars. Look at what a joke the 135 division has become. Look at what happens. We even got to the point where now it's one thing to troll a fighter because they talk a lot of shit, then go in the ring and get their ass whooped. But y'all not consistent because that's exactly what happened to Deontay Wilder, but y'all made excuses for him. But y'all troll people just because they lose a fight. Yet they went there and fought as hard as they could, showed heart, got dropped, kept getting up, wouldn't quit. Bottom line, no different from Errol Spence getting his ass whooped by Terrence Crawford. But he never quit, kept trying, kept coming. He never made excuses, but y'all kept talking shit. And I'm like, okay, on one hand, y'all don't want to see the fight again. He doesn't deserve it. But on the other hand, y'all do want to see it again. But you don't even know why you want to see it again. You don't even know why they should or shouldn't fight. Y'all just all over the place. So now, because nobody in boxing really understands how to really create stars and make people stars. Now, when I say stars, I ain't talking about no kissing somebody's ass. Oh, he or she's royalty, bow to them. No, I mean standout fighters that can draw, that can make boxing exciting again. Well, Eddie Hearn says it's time to make Jaron Boots Ennis a star. Jaron Boots Ennis, he want to make him multi-division undisputed. Now, here's the deal. Terrence Crawford, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't plan on fighting for a whole lot longer. He might, let's say if he's able to become undisputed at 154, he'll probably retire after he accomplishes that. The only way that I can see, and I'm basing this on what he's doing now, the things he's been saying, the only way I can see him sticking around after he becomes undisputed, if he accomplishes that, is if there's a fight out there for him that's like a mega fight. Aside from that, it's just, okay, now I've accomplished this, and then I'm going to fight in a tough fight against a guy who's dangerous, but has no real star power. You understand what I mean? Because if you become undisputed at 154, that means you beat the best guys at 154 to do so, right? Okay, well, at this point, let's say he retires. Him and Jaron never fight. Doesn't matter now, does it? But wouldn't it be very hypocritical if he stuck around and then all of a sudden Jaron Boots Ennis, and let's say he sticks around. And you know how fighters always want to go out with a win. But let's say he sticks around and he loses and he's like, nah, man, I want to go out with a win. What if Jaron Boots Ennis is in a position of he's the man now? And he treats Crawford like, nah, when I was champ, motherfucker, you told me, you know, you avoided me. You told me I wasn't ready. I wasn't in your league. Now you're in a position where you need help. You want a big fight. You want to go out with a big payday. Why should I give you that? Right? Now, let's say some people get involved where it's a big money fight. Crawford's well compensated. Jaron's the champ. He's the A side. He's well compensated. But he goes in there and fucking destroys Crawford. You are the same people right now making excuses saying as to why he shouldn't fight Jaron, or why does he have to fight Jaron just because y'all want to see him fight Jaron. Y'all will be the first ones coming with that bullshit about he's gotten old, he's not the same fighter, blah, blah, blah. When he had the chance to fight him, he didn't. You guys won't tell the truth and say that. You'd say Jaron Boots Ennis waited for Crawford to get old. I could already see how y'all act like y'all don't remember he's the one calling out them. They're not calling him out. And just like I told you guys, Jaron Boots Ennis gets in that same position where he's the man now. Trust me, he's going to do the same shit. And that's when you motherfuckers are all of a sudden going to be, oh man, Jaron Boots Ennis, oh, he's ducking such and such. He's holding out, oh, you mean he's doing the same thing that Crawford did? The same thing that Canelo's been doing? Okay, simple. So once a division loses its stars, it suffers. And boxing as a whole, well, now you have to start to rebuild. And this is why guys feel the need to go up and down, because it's like, well, there's nobody left at this division. That's a super fight. I've already became undisputed. Well, you could also just defend your titles. You can be the cash cow. And then you're going to criticize them and say they're not fighting anyone. So it's like you motherfuckers are greedy. You just want more, want more, want more. But then when somebody's trying to give you more, when somebody want to put the fights on, you criticize them for wanting the fights. Oh, you ain't ready, nigga. Oh, you better sit your ass down, man. He'll spank your ass. Oh, wow. Really? So that's what we doing now? We pick and choose who should fight who and who shouldn't fight who based on who I like more, or I don't want to admit it, but that motherfucker's a threat. Nah, he don't need to fight him. Just like I told you guys, you can miss me with that bullshit. You go back and you go through every fucking video I've had for the years I've been on here. And I'm telling you, you got this guy that Crawford's about to fight, name was never mentioned not one fucking time. Now all of a sudden everybody knows this guy. Oh, he's some well-known. This guy got 11 fucking fights. Are you shitting me? Think about this. Ben Whitaker is still doing 8-rounders. Y'all already put him in the ring with Beevil and Beterbiev. Really? Seriously? Really? Oh, if he's all that, why don't he fight them? Wow. So what you got against Ben Whitaker? You don't want to see the guy progress and get better? Oh, like all the show, but okay, you don't have to. But why the fuck would they put Ben Whitaker in there with guys that's established that have more experience right now? He's still doing 8-rounders. He hasn't even did a 10-rounder yet. Well, I think he just did his first 10-rounder. Yeah. But bottom line, what's the purpose? See, this is what I mean about the ignorance. So when you talk, and I'm letting you guys know, I'm not going to dumb my shit down to fit in with you. I'm not going to dumb my shit down and just go along with whatever you're saying. You guys want content creators to say whatever you want to hear to make you feel better about the fighter that you're, oh, yes. Ooh. No, I don't want to see you, get up in the morning and put your little thong on and sit there with your legs crossed typing how much you love these fighters. I don't care about none of that. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, damn, people are acting like it's wrong because fight fans want to see the best fight the best. And the crazy thing about it is it shows you that people hear something or read something and completely they don't hear nothing else after you say certain things. Every Zodiac said, I don't think Crawford is wrong for going to 154. I made the comparison of how you all said Anthony Joshua was ducking or using the IBF title shot as a way to duck Wilder. So people like Teddy Atlas, Max Kellerman, and others have put it in their head that Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. And I'm like, you guys must be just taking Wilder's side. I don't know if is it because he's American or you just don't like Anthony Joshua, whatever, because that's false bullshit. You have never heard Teddy Atlas, you've never heard Max Kellerman talk about and elaborate about the $120 million that Wilder them turned down from DAZN. Where do they get this whole, and multiple times when Eddie Hearn sent contracts and they didn't accept it. And then Wilder admits that they've been reaching out to him. Remember, Wilder even said Eddie won't stop calling him. Remember. So what do you mean? So when you say he's been taking all the easy fights and ducking, how has AJ been ducking you when you out of your own fucking mouth admitted that they've been trying to get a fight with you? They won't stop calling. Here's the crazy thing too. Wilder, remember, right? Told Tyson Fury, I turned down a fight with Anthony Joshua, in which I would have made a whole lot more money fighting him to fight you, because I'm a man of my word. But he go and tell y'all, go back and make a hypocrite out of himself and tell y'all AJ's been ducking him. And you guys are too fucking stupid to say, but Wilder, you out of your own mouth said Hearn and AJ been trying to get you in a fight for the longest. They won't stop calling. They made you an offer, what was it, 7 million? Then he went up to 12 million or something, even up to, I think, 15 million. And he kept turning the offer down. DAZN said, fuck this, we got that. 120 million. One fight with Dominic Brazil, 2 with AJ. They turned it down. What was the excuse? Because DAZN wouldn't tell them what they were paying AJ. Am I like the only fucking one that witnessed all of this shit? Yet, he can tell you something completely different from what he said before out of his own mouth. Not someone from his team, not 7 Sports, not Dante's Boxing Nation, not Boxing Ego, not Fanon, none of them. Out of Wilder's mouth. Yet, y'all sit back and act like you don't remember the shit. So, case in point, I'm not here to appease people. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to bring the truth. And if the truth fucks with you, deal with it. Too bad. Because I'm going to tell you what's real. I don't do the fabrication. Which is why I say, I don't give a fuck what Teddy Atlas or anybody says. You all bow to them like they're the fucking boxing dictionary or some shit. Or they're a boxing Bible. These people can be biased as fuck to who they want to be biased to. Hands down. We have a guy in Devin Haney who was the only undisputed between him, Lomachenko, and Teofimo. And Teofimo clearly didn't want to fight him. All those guys. Remember, Teo even said, man, this guy gets on my fucking nerves, man. Because everywhere Teo went, Haney was on his ass. And they kept popping up. He didn't want to fight him. Andre Dirrell gives you some false information. Not even fully aware of what was going on. Didn't even know that Devin Haney only had 1 belt and was no longer at 135. And he's giving you a rundown of what Haney did and didn't do. He didn't even know what he was talking about. He was wrong. Okay. So his opinions was based off what? Falsehood. But y'all say, I always knew what time it was with Dev. He was always overrated. Or he wasn't shit because he lost 1 fight. Well, if he wasn't shit and went the distance with Lomachenko, that means Lomachenko ain't shit either. If he ain't shit, that means Regis definitely ain't shit. I mean, let's be real. Remember the guy named Aries Zodiac that asked you guys? Because I said, is it that the 135 division is just better than 140? Because they got stars at they got boxers at 140. That's good, but not really stars. And when I watch them, I just don't feel like the top guys, like the top 4 or 5 guys, let's just say the top 10 at 140, to me, isn't as good as the top 10 at 135. Was I wrong, though? Look at what's been going on. Now, you get the fight between Devin and Ryan. Instead of you guys, hey, man, you know what? No. But when you point out the pros and cons of what happened, why things happened, why this person did that, the advantage this person, no, y'all don't want to hear the truth. Y'all don't want to hear truth. Then you don't watch my fucking channel. Because I'm not going to sit here and fabricate my shit and lie to you guys. So bottom line, when a division loses its stars, it suffers. And because sanctioning bodies are going, eeny, meeny, miny, no, I don't know about these guys. Let's see. Think about it. 135 had the fucking hottest division. And look at how it fell apart. Most of the time, it's money situations, greed. Right? Okay. So that's what happens. And the division suffers if you're holding up the fucking division. You don't want to fight the guys that's there. And then you got one guy that's a big fish in a small pond. Okay, before I go up, let me whoop his ass. Nope, I don't want to fight him at all. I'll fight somebody else. Okay, he never fought anybody else. And he went up, but he's still champion. But now we know he's no longer has any interest in fighting at 147. So we don't care anymore about that fight. It's as simple as that. Okay. Well, another question somebody asked was about female boxers getting paid the highest of all other females. I think they said Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor might have been the other person. I forgot who or whatever. But, I mean, listen, let me say it to you like this. The amount of money that they get paid, that's their job to, jump up and You know, their money's not paying my bills and feeding my family. So that's great for them and you know, for them to celebrate about. In terms of the money, let me just say this, and I don't care male or female. The more money that's involved in a situation, the more likely you're going to start to have issues with certain fighters not wanting to fight each other because of greed. And then when you are the first one or two to be the highest paid at something or whatever, other people are going to feel a certain way, especially if there's people that's just as established or more established than you. Okay, let me give you a perfect example. There's no female fighter in boxing hotter or more accomplished than Claressa Shields. Now, if Claressa Shields was to say, I'm the face of female boxing, how you going to pay somebody else more than you pay me? You can't falter. I mean, you can't falter. Now, if we going to start going by pay-per-view numbers and who did this and who did that to try to justify, then y'all got to shut the fuck up and stop talking shit about Floyd Mayweather. Oh, you talk about his money. Okay, because now that's what you're doing. You're trying to justify somebody, okay, and why they should get paid what they're getting paid. But then when the guy who's been paid more than everybody, and no matter what they're paying them, $6 million, please, man. That's laughable to what Floyd was making, okay, before he even became the face of boxing. So my whole point is, with that, I don't feel any kind of way. I mean, I don't give a fuck that Floyd made the money he made. In principle, what I'm saying is, you can't applaud something one way, but then get mad because somebody else is doing the same thing you're doing. Only he's justifying himself. You're justifying somebody else's money. It's not your fucking money. Like I said, I might have even told you guys this, but as just an example, okay, I might have told you guys this already. But someone asked me a simple question. They asked me if there's anything in your life that you can go back and change, what would it be? And I said simply, I can't go back and change it. Anything that I can't go back and change, I don't think about. That's like fantasy stuff. So I don't waste my time, waste my energy thinking about things that I can't change. That's if it's not doable, why would I? Point is, he could have asked somebody else the same question. I would have never dated my second boyfriend, or I'd never messed with that girl I met at the club that night. I'd have never let my boy go to the store that night. He'll still be here because he got... No, you can't change that. Like the movie The Butterfly Effect, they go back in time and change something so something else can change. But in that change, they affect the present. So all of a sudden, you come home, nobody's there, come to find out that your wife isn't your wife. Because when you went back and changed that one thing, that thing prevented you from meeting your wife. Stuff like that, that's movie shit. It's not real life. So I don't give thought on shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? So it was no harm in the person asking me the question, but that's the type of shit I'm saying. I don't do that. I don't fantasize. I don't give you this whole, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? We all have ups and downs. I deal with reality. I accept the reality. Now, how I can affect and change the present right now to make the future better, that's a focus. That's a day-to-day. I can't worry about the past. As far as the past goes, things I know that happened and why and how it happened, it's my job to make sure that never happens again. So, but I don't sit and think about if I could go back out. That's not reality. Okay, so I deal with reality. Yeah, but I mean, as far as giving the females an extra incentive to fight, okay, great. That's but that's for them to celebrate, not me. I don't give any thought. I don't care about how much money these people make. Like I keep telling them, it's your fucking money. Think I'm lying? Don't buy a pay-per-view. Don't go to a show, and let's see where they get the money to pay from. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't sit up and think. I don't think about shit like that. I don't care about that. I'm all about the fight itself. I tell you guys, I don't care how big your mansion is. I don't care how many cars you got, how many women you screw. I don't care about any of that. You got a movie theater in your home. You got a swimming pool inside, outside, basketball. Okay, that for you. You understand what I'm saying? That's not my business. You know what I'm saying? I don't focus on how much money they're making and whatever. These things come up in boxing conversations, but it's not about conversating to just like bragging off who's this, who's that. But like I say, that's why, and I keep telling you guys, when you focus on how much money somebody's making, when you make that the vocal point of, oh shit, this guy's making it, okay, then y'all got to stop hating on Floyd, because that's all that is. You can't brag about this person is this and they deserve more because this and that person did this and they sold that amount of, because as soon as Floyd started, nobody sold more pay-per-views than me. Nobody broke more. He's telling you the fucking truth. And that's the part that fuck people over. Like, damn, this motherfucker is telling the truth. But fuck him anyway. That's hypocritical, man. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. And I just wanted to get these, things on the table so people could pay attention to real life. That's all. Nobody's sitting up here in a fanboy mode. Not on this end. And people don't understand that. But if you like a fighter, you're supposed to lie for them. No, you don't. No, you be honest. You can go to court and the judge can like the person that you're going to court against more than you. And that person can be lying their ass off, but he don't like you. So you're guilty. Would you like that? Would you like it if your kids was being mistreated because somebody liked their kids, other kids? Your kid is the best basketball player on the team, but they cut him to put somebody else on because they like that kid more than your kid. So even though your kid earned it, your kid gets mistreated. Would you like that? So stop acting like some bitches, man, for these fucking fighters and athletes. That's all. Actors, actresses, rappers, y'all out here arguing about who's the best, who's the GOAT. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's y'all stupid ass conversation. That's y'all young boy ass conversation. I'm too grown up for that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Plain and simple. So I just wanted to get that out the way. And yeah, like I said, this glove gig thing just had me laughing, man. I'm just sitting here looking like, wow, the fact that people actually believe that dumb shit. Yeah. This man was adjusting his glove perfectly. He was, right. Nobody, Wilder's the one in front of him. How the fuck you sit there and see it and Wilder didn't? Well, in the heat of battle, get the fuck out. Okay, right. So nobody in his corner saw it either. Nobody saw none of this shit in the arena. But somehow Blue Blood and Dante and all of them, and then you fans saw it, but nobody else seen it. Come on with this shit, man. I mean, like, shit was so crazy, man. Like, but it's no wonder. Like I said, I got neighbors that believe in Bigfoots and Wendigos. They see all kind of creatures and animals. I've been in this motherfucker forever, and I don't see none of it. I guess they know not to fuck with me. Yeah, they die. That's Aries. Nah, don't walk on this property. He'll blow your head off. Don't. They know not to fuck with me, I guess. So, yeah, somehow everybody else see him. And not even everybody. There's always a select few. I've seen him. Yeah, I know. Rick James told you. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.